where they fear human beings. And we have access, to power and authority over the animal world. We also have ability to reflect into the future, to think about the past, and to bring together information, to build, technologies. And so we are able to take it a step further. There are animals also that build technology. Beavers that we have in America. Beavers are really good at construction and probably more intelligent than us in a lot of ways. But we have developed this ability to bring things together and to control the environment. And so the essence of it really is based upon this concept of khilafat. And that is the concept of being the representative of God on earth. And if human beings begin to look at themselves as the representatives of God on earth, and not as people who are just eating and drinking and struggling against each other, then maybe we would begin to look at simple creatures, at the environment itself, at a green tree, in a different way. And so, there are people who deny this. There are some people who try to deny the changes, and they say, well, there's sunspots, and this is something that happened already, but overwhelming evidence now is showing that we are destroying our environment, and we need to do something very serious about this. So I want to make a proposal of a type of Islamic earth chart. It's some principles that we as Muslims could live by, and this, I believe, would put us in line with other groups, who are looking in a holistic way, at society and the environment. Number one, that we should respect and care for Allah's creation. That we should put this as a high priority. To respect and care for Allah's creation, and children from an early age should be taught to respect and care for Allah's creation. It is said within our traditions that all of the prophets were shepherds. Every one of the prophets, alayhimus salam, they were shepherds. Now, what is a shepherd? If you realize now, that shepherd that has a relationship with animals. And so there's a different concept that a person who takes care of animals has than somebody who has no relationship with the animal world. So respect and care for Allah's creation. Secondly, we should respect and care for the earth with all of its diversity. We should try to develop free, just societies. And this is also looking at corruption in our own Muslim world. Because there are most of the societies who claim to be practicing Islam are not actually practicing it, and are maybe worse off than other countries who don't call them Muslims. So this generation needs to try to develop free and just societies. And the basis of this Islamic society should be shura. And shura is mutual consultation. That there is a way to consult people. This is the traditional Islamic concept. I visited a city in Ethiopia which is called Harar, the city of Harar. It's a walled city. And in this city, they would build a mosque. They have more mosques per square meter than anywhere else in the world. And they would build a mosque for every 40 families. Because according to the great Imam Shafi, if you have 40 people to make Friday prayers, then you establish Jummah. But what they did was, they developed around the masjid, that the Imam was not only just leading in prayer, but he was responsible for the families. So they call it Al-Ahli system. So you have 40 families around the masjid, and you have a leader. So the leaders of all of the masjids attend a Majlis al-Shura meeting, where all the problems of the town is discussed, and the Emir of the town sits at the head of the Majlis al-Shura. And so if something happens in a small little corner of the town, they have the ability now to express it to their leader, who will go to the House of Representatives, so to speak, and then deal with the Emir and bring about a change in the society. So this is the concept of shura, which many people would say is actually a form of democracy. Also, that we should secure Earth's bounties for the future generations. In order to do this, we need to protect and restore the integrity of the Earth's ecological systems. We have to, restore the integrity of the ecological systems. Also, we need to have special concern for biodiversity. And in South Africa, we have one of the best forms of biodiversity, all types of different forms of life and plants, and it's an amazing thing to be, especially in the Western Cape in South Africa. Also, we should do everything to prevent harm to the environment. And that means that we need to struggle now to deal with the carbon emissions, carbon dioxide emissions, anything destroying the ozone layer or creating a negative thing. We should be part of this struggle to protect the environment. We should adopt patterns of production, consumption, and reproduction that safeguard the earth. So the patterns of production, consumption, reproduction. Our patterns should be actually safeguarding the earth, and we don't just reproduce or consume to consume. Okay? That it is not quantity, but it's the quality of the life that we live in. We also need to defend people's human rights. And we need to struggle to eradicate poverty. Because without eradicating poverty, without dealing with inequality between people, then our situation is only going to get worse. We need to uphold the rights of all, especially the Aboriginal people. And I don't say that just because my grandmother was an Aboriginal, but you will see that in many countries the Aboriginal people are the ones who have seriously suffered. And it was the Aboriginal people living thousands of years in that continent who had developed the system over the centuries how to survive in that particular environment. But then societies come along and totally decimate the Aboriginal population and totally disregard their respect. Like I say, that the First Nation people, when they would build a dam, they would think 3 generations ahead. Also, we need to establish justice and peace. We need to ensure the total participation of people from all different levels of life, and to treat all living beings with respect. Next, especially in the Muslim countries, but all over the world, we need to promote a culture of God consciousness. God consciousness is missing amongst people today. The relationship with the Creator, the concept of vicegerent, being the representative of God on earth. This godlessness has had a negative impact. We also need to promote modesty, tolerance, clean living amongst people, and peace. And we need to really reach out of ourselves. I say this specifically to the Muslims, and I want to commend the brothers and sisters here, for the sweeping and for the moves that they are making coming out of themselves. This is something which we have tried to establish all over the southern region. Come out openly, speak to people, share, because if human beings, if we don't start to cooperate with each other, we will destroy each other and we will destroy the environment around us. So I leave you with these thoughts, and I ask for Allah to have mercy on me and you. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.
Thank you very much, Sheikh, for the talk. We'll have the papers going around. If you have any questions, please write it, and we should have so collect. If there are questions from the top, Munjid will collect them, and Hassan, you can do them out. Okay, I have some questions that people have sent in prior to this, and there are some questions. Munjid, if you could just stand aside and just collect these.
Okay, one of the questions here is concerning, do you think materialism is causing a lot of the environmental problems?